Watching this Tamil film on the big screen, I was just smiling throughout, in awe of the craft on display. Just outstanding. Is it the film of the year? Let's talk about it. Hello guys, I'm Nona and today talking about the latest Tamil film, Kaantha, directed by Selvamani Selvaraj, and he co-wrote the film with Tamil Prabha. Since the first look for this film came out, I was so excited to check it out because it's a film about films that too set in a period. Now there are talks that the film is loosely based on some real person and real incidents, but there's no official talk about it, so we can assume it is all fictional. And we all know every fictional thing is inspired by something in real life. Now there is a disclaimer regarding this film because I feel like it may not click with everyone. On social media I'm hearing amazing reviews, but I'm also getting comments, people calling it very boring and didn't like it at all. And I think the reason for that is, first of all, the film is about filmmaking, and if you're into filmmaking, you'll enjoy the film way more than just watching it for the story. And over that, this film has a very particular style it's going for, and it may not connect with every type of audiences. So to totally enjoy the film, you need to cross that bridge. You need to surrender yourself for what you're watching. If you're questioning why they're acting like this, why the set looks like this, why the lighting is so different, then you're not gonna enjoy the film for what it is. You have to be more accepting of what you're watching. This film demands that. In a very basic term, I know it's not the right thing, but if I want to give you a reference of what this film is, you can think of it as Pyasa plus Om Shanti Om mixed, mashed together. That's the only reference I can come up with. Not that the film is basically those two films, but just the style, the aesthetics, the things they are going for. And let's talk about the style. The film is set in 1950s and it plays like a film from those times. Of course, they are making a film within a film, but what we see in this film, the way the characters talk and interact, it is over the top. It's very dramatic. It will remind you of those yesteryears. And you'll see that in the technical department also, the way the camera is used. There are so many long single takes. Most of them are wide, where we can see all the characters. We are not just seeing the retro style in the way they are making the film within the film, but also in the film. I hope that makes sense. Now I knew from the trailer, all the flashback sequences in the film are shown in black and white, and also all the scenes of the footage of the film they are making are shown in black and white, but also with a different aspect ratio, so you can clearly understand the visuals. The framing of the characters, the way the sets are designed, the way the light is used, there's a lot of backlight put on characters, and it's also part of the storytelling. Let me take one example from the movie. We have two characters in the film, the hero and the director. Now the first time when they come face to face in the film, the way they are introduced, the way they set it up, the director is inside the studio waiting for the hero, and the way the hero arrives, he's surrounded by a lot of people and he's backlit not by some light, by the sky itself, which tells you how humongous he is, that he is literally lit by the nature itself, telling us how big of a deal he is. And in contrast, the director who's standing opposite him, he is just lit by one single light behind him. That's it, and he's all alone, telling us that he doesn't have the same fame as the hero does, but still he is standing tall. And that is such a beautiful way to set things up just visually without telling us what's really going on. That is great storytelling. Now I noticed the backlight throughout the film, and maybe I feel I'm reading too much into it, that in every moment they were backlighting the characters according to some theme. Now you'll see a lot of mirror scenes in the film where basically the characters look in the mirror and we see their reflection, and it is a tool which is used many times in films for various reasons. There is also a storytelling angle to it. What does a mirror shot mean? We are seeing a reflection of a character. Now sometimes it's used to show what's going on with the character. Maybe they are in doubt, they are unsure. That's why we are seeing a reflection. We are seeing two versions of them. It all depends on the kind of story it's being told. But it is also an illusion, as if something is wrong, someone is being fake, they're double identities. Sometimes a reflection is a true version of the character. So there are multiple ways you can look at it, and this film uses that very well. Now if you look at it, the big conflict between our two characters is actually an ideology difference, which is about films and filmmaking, and it is very meta. It is about different perspectives. There is an age gap which also adds to it. One is a purist. He thinks movies are just about the stories you are telling, and that's what really matters. If you make a great film, it will exist even after you're gone. And on the other hand, we have a hero who only cares about the audience's applause, because that's what makes him the hero. That whatever he does has to be in the service of the audience, not the story. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones paying the money. They need to have a good time. They need to enjoy the moment. And you understand both sides. This ideology war still goes on today. And the way this layer is added to the whole narrative is outstanding. And this conflict actually leads to ego, power tussle, constant upmanship, and that makes a spectacular drama. But what makes this more fun is that the drama is not happening through just dialogues or through action or through any sports No, it's happening through filmmaking. How will a director and an actor fight without fighting? That's what we witness. How the director tries to put down the hero by changing the scene, and how the hero improvises on that and makes it his own scene. How the director is using one of the scenes to be performed to put down the hero, and in reply, the hero just nails the performance and he gets applause on the set. This constant back and forth was so fun to watch. That's the reason I was just smiling throughout. And these things are not made up, these are real things that happen on set. This power tussle is very common. When there's a scene written between a hero and a heroine, and it is about the heroine taking the upper hand in the moment, but the hero improvises to shine more in that and makes the scene about his character. And you'll hear such stories across industries. It happens everywhere. And many times it's about the male actors taking over the scene from a female actor because they don't want them to shine in front of their stardom. And the way all of this is picturized, the way they have structured the screenplay, you understand what's going on. You understand what the scene is supposed to be, what they are doing, what the difference is. It's very easy to follow. And throughout this, we see the vintage filmmaking. In those times, how did they make films? They follow all these techniques throughout. And the geek inside me was just getting excited. You are just absorbed by what's happening on screen. But there's more to the film. The film may be in black and white in some moments, but the characters and the world is not black and white. It's very much grey shade. You cannot really trust any character. Everyone is unreliable. Even though when the motivations for each character is very clear to us, we cannot really pinpoint who's right and who's wrong, who's the culprit. And that's where the film becomes a whodunit murder mystery. But I need to say that it's not about the twists and turns. It's not about the big reveal. That's what I like, that the film is very clear about this. What they actually want us to feel is the tragedy that has taken place, to feel the pain of it. The first half is very film heavy when they are making the film and everything I enjoyed. And the second half almost turns into a murder investigation. And the shift is very drastic, which is basically just like how they used to make films. Now, without dwelling into spoilers, with the ending, the film wants us to get emotional. I get what's happening, what the characters are going through, but I don't deeply feel all of that. We have to talk about the acting because it is such a weird thing. You have actors who are acting in this film as actors, and in the film itself, they have to act as actors. Inception. I have to say all the actors in the film have given their best performance to date. And let's start with Dulquer Salmaan. He was just mesmerizing. Like his screen presence, his charisma. Like I don't know when that happened. Like suddenly he has become a superstar. The aura he carries, the way he's picturized, the way he performs. Like it's such a difficult role. And I was just in awe of every moment. Like there are scenes where he's acting of being an actor, and in that acting he needs to perform a scene in a certain way, and he does it and it's outstanding, and your mind just goes crazy. The way he's lit, the way he's captured on camera, the emotions, like within one scene you can see different emotions on his face. I think I've seen most of his films, at least the latest ones. Maybe some older ones I have not. I think easily one of his greatest performance. Samuthirakani as a director, we have seen him many times in different films playing the antagonist. He's a cat actor who has been stereotyped to play the villain always, but I feel like this film gives him to shine. The way he plays that stubborn, arrogant man, and there's so many shades to him, and the way he depicts them is beautiful. Bhagyashri Borse, I think this is the first time I'm watching her performance, and she's actually the core of the film. In this grey world, she brings that innocence, and it's a role could have been very cringy. You would hate her character, but the way she delivers it, she is naive. She doesn't totally understand the world she lives in, but she is the beating heart of the film. Rana Daggubati as an inspector, he comes in the second half, and I loved his performance. He just brings a very different energy. And again, it is very dramatic. It is very, over the top. But that's what the film demanded. Now, as I talked about the structure of the film, because he comes in the second half and it almost feels like it becomes his film. And he's so relentless. The film is so energetic at that moment. Like it literally drains you as an audience. Not that you get disconnected. You are still immersed in what's happening. You're following the investigation. But because for such a long chunk of the film, it's just the investigation and him trying to find out who's the killer, you get really tired with it. And because of that, in the second half, everyone takes a backseat until the last 15-20 minutes. But even with that, the thing is that the film feels complete. It all works as a whole. Like literally there are no compromises. They have not added any extra stuff to make it more appealing to the audiences. And in a way, the film is actually going with both the ideologies. That it is about the story, it is about the writing. That's what really matters. But it's also about the hero, giving him the moments. And it's actually a blend of both of those things, which is again quite meta. And that's why I say for me it is definitely film of the year. Maybe one of the contenders, but definitely a top contender. Now this film shows DQ's prowess as an actor, but here find out his prowess as a producer. How did he crack that? Let me know your thoughts about the film in the comments below. Did you enjoy the film as much as I did? I would love to know, and I will see you next time.